Everybody want to be bodybuilder, but nobody wants these heavy ass weights.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 64 of Buckets of Duckets. I am your co-host, Chase Myers. Every week, I talk to my best friend, hilarious comedian down in Louisiana, the one, Josh Watts.
Good evening, shitheads. It's your boy, the Mohawk Meat Gasel, a.k.a. the titanium tank of the dirty South. This week, we want you to like and subscribe. This button is right fucking there. Tell your dopest, coolest friends to listen to this podcast. If you got a girl you're trying to feel up on a date or something, or a dude you're trying to grab his dick on a date, put on our podcast. Everybody gets in the mood listening to Buckets of Duckets, all right? Put it on. You will guarantee to get a hard pussy or a wet dick, whichever one you're after. Or both, whatever. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Go to our website. I think we still have a website with stuff on it. You go there, bucketsofduckets.com, and write a review. Tell us we're fucking great. Hold on. All right, now tell us we're fucking great.
Now tell us.
You bitches complain about that rocket being backwards.
I swear to God, if y'all say something about that rocket after everything we just went through,
I'll quit this fucking podcast right now. Today.
Right now.
Right today. I'll just
And
start
then
going.
what you
I'll
gonna
go work
do?
on. I'll go work on Dax Shepard's podcast. Y'all can't do shit. What you gonna
How
do?
about that?
You gonna listen to Dax Shepard podcast? Nope. You sure as
Nope.
the fuck ain't. So no
Good
more
luck getting a
Josh for
wet
y'all.
dick over there. Huh? Let's see how
How
hard
many wet dicks you think
let's see how hard
Dax
your
Shepard
puss
has ever
gets over
caused?
there. Exactly.
Did chips make your pussy hard? I don't think so.
We know it didn't. We know it didn't.
Oh fuck. Let's Go to Prison got your dick wet? I don't think it did.
I forgot that was a
I
movie.
heard a story about Dax Shepard recently that he there was a PA on a set that he was recording a show and she was driving out of the lot and it's like 5 miles an hour because it's the lot of a studio.
Yeah.
And he swerved in front of her, slammed on his brakes and got out and yelled at her for driving too slow. And she was his assistant on the show 5 minutes before he was yelling at her. I don't know if that's true or not. She was on a podcast. And said
I like
I
it.
believe
Nah, he's a fucking asshole. I like that whenever people can't act for 5 minutes like they're not better than somebody.
I get it.
He can't have one inconvenience in his life.
What makes you think your Civic belongs in front of this Ferrari?
Going so slow.
Do you know who the fuck do you remember Punk'd? That was me, bitch. Me.
That was me.
And what other people, but it was me.
It was also me. I was there. Some people
I'm
think I
married
hosted.
to that
Don't
girl
forget.
from Frozen.
Everybody likes her. Nobody likes me. Nobody likes me.
I'm trying to listen to this podcast.
Yeah, that's interesting because I think he does have a good guy thing. So I'm glad that that's falling.
Nah, dude, I heard.
It's just what you heard. This is just what you heard.
Hand to God, I heard he regularly pays homeless people to strangle puppies while he jerks off. That's just what I heard.
God damn, he does that.
Look, I don't know.
He does
for sure,
that,
but definitely he does that.
but he does that. Wow.
Yeah, it's on TikTok.
I can't
I got
believe Dax
TikTok
Shepard
about
does
it.
that.
Homeless people. Here's $5 and a puppy. Strangle it while I get my rocks off every time. He said it to me once. I was like, I'm not homeless. Can I still
Dax
do it?
Shepard.
Dax Shepard, why are you in this Home Depot?
Dax Shepard, you can't spend more than $5 for me to take a puppy life? God.
That's a cute puppy. You want me to strangle it, it's going to be at least 25.
Dak, I mean, negotiation 101. Jesus Christ, man. I left the table. Already, Dax Shepard.
Do you think I'm that guy from Idiocracy? Because
Is that who you thought I was? Dax Shepard? Because I am not. No deal.
Oh, fuck.
No deal.
I met. Have you ever met a celebrity and it went the opposite of the way that you thought it would?
Let me think about it.
I can tell you one right off the bat.
Okay,
sure.
go.
I was in the Orlando airport in 2015. Michelle and I were on our way to Disney World we used to go every year as our anniversary present, and then we had kids and Kids don't belong in Disney World. Everybody knows that. So
you stop going to Disney World once you have children. Absolutely.
Second we had kids, we're never going to Disney again, ever. I used to hug Winnie the Pooh every time. My kids will never see him.
Never. My kids will not know Winnie the Pooh.
We were in the airport in Orlando, Florida, and I saw Michael Purely Sexy Hayes walking through the parking lot. I'll put the picture right here. And
you don't have to. Everybody knows who you're talking about.
That's a fucking free bird, and I gotta go talk to him. And then I was like, well, you always read about wrestlers and celebrities like not enjoying getting hassled or talked to in airports because they're traveling, so you don't want to bother them. But in my brain, I was like, how many people are bothering Michael Purely Sexy Hayes in the airport right now? Like, he's just standing there like an asshole and nobody's talking to him. Like, they don't know that he's a goddamn free bird. So I just walked right over to him and was like, can I take a picture? And he goes, yeah.
I have to say, yeah.
And then I took a picture with him. And I was like, dude, I've been a fan since way back. Like the Freebirds, watching y'all come out to the coming out for the 3-man tags against Von Erichs was like some of the greatest shit in my childhood. And he literally turned around and walked away while I was saying that to him. I snapped a picture. Was like, I'm a huge fan. I've been a fan of you since the 70s. And then he was walking away, and I was like, all right, you dumb bitch. Ain't nobody like you anyway. You dirty ass old man.
Oh, racist.
I'm glad they cut your ponytail off. You weird dressed motherfucker. You ain't Percy Sledge. Why are you wearing a pink suit right now? Get the fuck out of here, you Steve Harvey wannabe motherfucker. I wanted a picture, and I was trying to compliment you. I'm still mad about it. I don't know if it came across.
I mean, rightfully so. Rightfully so.
I came home and I smashed every Freebird CD I had.
What was it, like Freebird USA or something like that?
Bad Street, Atlanta, GA.
Yeah.
Bad Street in the whole USA. We're going to get copyright called right there for that. He just put it for real. Michael Hayes just put an album out.
I'm sorry to the people who don't know who we're talking about, but
if you know who we're talking about, you might as well skip ahead 45 minutes.
Imagine.
Now we're getting into
it. Just imagine your most racist uncle who also dressed like Steve Harvey.
The fact that dude's name was Purely Sexy is one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. Here's his music. 2014 was his last CD. I'm sorry. It was 2014.
I mean, that might as well be yesterday. That's crazy. How, like,
right?
2014. Right? That's still a 93-year-old man or whatever he is. Like, that's still...
I mean, I bought Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling Boot Bands CD. Did you ever hear that one?
No, I missed it.
I
was at the time I was more into like what Macho Man was putting out, you know what I'm saying? So I just totally missed.
I don't know if you're joking or not, but I bought Macho Man CD and he had a video for "Be a Man, Hulk," and he's rapping all of a sudden. And you're like,
I know.
Hey, you're still Macho Man. Be a man, Hulk. Dude, him and Hulk hate each other unless they can make money, and then they were best friends.
That's a good deal.
And I tell you what, you know how to make friends. You know how to make money. I can't wait till we split this podcast up and I get to put out a rap album about you. There's nothing I want more. I have so many rhymes for 6'9". Good God. Travis is screwed.
I wish some of my enemies were worth a shit so I could make some money, but they all dog shit and they never did nothing. So it's pretty hard to have a fucking rivalry with these bums.
He's got a point. Who am I going to rap out? Jermaine Jingles? What am I going to say about him?
Like I said, Jermaine Jingles going to step up.
I saw you at an open mic 8 years ago. Come on.
Dead Beats of comedy, you going to step up? I ain't think
Where
so.
them Howler Monkey motherfuckers at?
How about that?
Huh? Hey, Daniel and Alan, where the fuck y'all at? Where y'all been? Talking to strangers? Yeah? I don't know if anybody listening to this show remembers that show, our old Chase and Josh Talks, the run we had with Alan and Dan. Two comedians from Baton Rouge that put out a podcast and would invite us on their shows, and we would just shit on them.
We would just take over the shows.
Just nonstop. We would just take over their show and shit all over them.
Like, I think we would open, like, the podcast would come on, it'd be me and you going like, "What's up, everybody? This is our fucking show." We just we would just immediately launch in.
And look,
these ain't shits think that they could have us as a guest.
and attack us on a live show in front of the audience and think you're going to win. Come on, man. Come on. Come on!
Upset about it.
We were talking about swole babies. You remember?
How could I forget? How could I forget? Yeah, you got a big old swole baby now, right?
Dude, my 26-pound 3-year-old son was picking up a 40-pound kettlebell today.
Normal. Just normal. Light
He
work.
comes out with me every morning when I work out, and he mimics me exactly. He chalks his hands up. He tries his swings, and when I'm done, like when I in between sets, I'll sit down on a bench next to me. He'll sit down on the bench, and he wipes his head with his towel, like everything. Then today, that dude just reached over, grabbed the 40-pound kettlebell, and deadlifted it straight up and held it. Almost twice his body weight. Do you know what that tells me? That dude ain't fucking around, all right?
That's dangerous, bro. He's low to the ground, dude. You got to watch where you're stepping. He's going to fucking take your ankles out.
Oh, dude, I'm done for. As soon as he realized how powerful he truly is, it's over for me.
Yeah.
You ever seen that movie Brightburn, where the guy has a superpowered alien son that kills him? It's probably going to be a lot.
It's probably like that. It's probably a lot like that.
I'm like, hey, go to your room, and then he's just going to fly through my chest. I had a real good friend I was stationed with 20 years ago in the Air Force. He's never had a social media. Nobody's ever been able to find what happened to him, or like nobody's ever been able to get in touch with him since, or he just kind of disappeared. I don't want to put his name out here because I know he listens now, or I think he does because we talked about it. But I mean, I guess he'll know who I'm talking about. One time we were 21, and we're stationed in North Carolina in the Air Force cops. And we come back from a night drinking at a bar, and Scott is trying to get into his house, and it is his house that he's renting, but we are shit-faced.
Okay.
And so he can't get into it, so he just starts kicking the door in. And the neighbors see it and call the cops because it's 2 a.m. or whatever. And
someone's door is being kicked in.
The cops show up. And I think I was already passed out. I don't remember for sure. But dude, I swear to God, Chase, I woke up to my buddy picking a female cop up and just tossing her off his porch. His porch is like, in North Carolina, most porches are pretty high up. So it was, like you had to walk up steps. It was a good toss. And I was like, holy shit, are we fighting? And it took a minute for me to register. That lady he just threw had a uniform. But by the time I realized that, he was being tasered from like 8 different directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
The thing about doing that from your house is that like you can't really escape now because you're at your house. Like you can't. Where you gonna go?
Chase, we can nitpick and tear this apart all we want, but that dude saw that his home was in danger from a bunch of invading pigs, and he grabbed the weakest one he could and he threw it as far as he could off the porch to make a demonstration for the other ones to hope that they would leave. They did not heed his warning.
They do not listen.
They just tasered the fuck out of him and
yeah?
took him to jail. But, bro, when I tell you he should not have thrown the cop because he should have just explained it's his house. We're home already, so you can't. We're here. What are we gonna get?
I can't kick in my door. Is that what you're telling me? I can't kick in my own door.
So we wouldn't have been in trouble until But dude, I opened my eyes and saw like a cartoon. Like he just grabbed her and she like, who can say what you know? And it was so awesome. And then he's just tasered automatically. And I'm like, well, now I'm fucked because we're going to have to go in front of the commander. Because when you're in the military, they keep up with shit you do. So we're going to have to go in front of the commander and talk about what happened. And we did. And it was not cool. And people got really upset about it. Anyway, he's a Krav Maga instructor now. And we were catching up.
He's a what instructor?
Krav Maga. Like he teaches cops and military and agents and stuff
how to throw people, how to pick people up and throw them. What a perfect way for that's exactly where he could channel that energy. That is the only thing that he was going to be able to do.
Yeah,
I know 2 things about him. He can kick a fucking door down and he can throw a lady. So yeah, please teach people karate.
I realize now that this sounds, as I'm saying it, like in my head, this is a very funny memory, but as I'm saying it was like, oh, my friend assaulted a lady. So I guess that's not as funny as I remembered it being. Because in my head, it's a cop, and cops, bad guys. We all know that. Cops equal bad. Everybody knows that. So in my head, it's good, and then I'm telling it now, and I'm like, oh. Anyway, that's not the worst thing he did. The worst thing he did was we were talking about our kids. I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old sending pictures. And he's like, my son works as a football player, and he sent me pictures of his son in football, like junior high probably, age, playing football. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Look at how strong my kid is. And I sent him a picture of Henry holding a 25-pound kettlebell.
Right. That's before he worked his way up to the 40.
My friend, who I've known 20 years, hadn't talked to, but sends me a picture of his very early teenage son in briefs, flexing, and tells me my son's been working out with a trainer since he was 6. And like, that's cool, but now I have a picture of a flexing, muscly boy on my phone.
Yeah. Put some clothes on that kid.
Bro, the worst thing he did, he deleted his Facebook. So now I just have blank messages and a picture of just a little boy flexing in his underwear. I went today to message him, or the other day I went to message him like, hey, are you coming through Louisiana to teach? Because I thought he might be coming through, and I went to message him, and his Facebook is gone. So it's just blank messages and then a picture of a flexing. I mean, he's swole. He's a swole kid, but I don't think that's going to justify to the police why I have that picture. So I was like, I got to delete it.
I got to delete it. Yeah. Got
to delete it. And then I was like, I deleted the picture. I'm like, I bet nobody's ever thought of that. Everybody who's ever gotten in trouble for a picture was like, you know what? I should have just deleted it. I didn't even think to do that. But I deleted it.
That is a big part of the battle.
They'll never get me now, dude.
When they come for you. Yeah, man, what a fucked up move. There's a cutoff for that. You can't just be, I'd say, I don't know. What you think? Once they start school, you stop sending around naked pictures of your child?
For sure.
I'd say, yeah.
For sure. It's not a baby. He's like a teenage boy.
Yeah,
he's in junior high.
That's what I'm saying.
And like, I understand what he was showing. I understand the picture. I get what he meant. But did your kid know that you're sending pictures to just some weird 40-year-old dude in New Orleans of him in his underwear? Because that's weird. He's probably going to bring them big, swope muscles in there, beat the fuck out of you for selling his image and likeness around.
Starting his kid on a trainer at that age, like that's
that's weird, right?
Yeah, I mean, what is he training for? Just to be
football?
Huge? Oh, okay, football. Oh, that's right.
Muscles and football. So that's like to me, that's like, oh, you're like a Tiger Woods dad then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's tough, man. I think it's tough to start kids in football like that early because, like, it's just a sport where your brain just rattles around in your head.
It doesn't seem like a great idea. But.
Play some flag football until they're like in high school, and then if they're dumb or not, and you can let hey, you're not ruining anything. Get out there.
It's not gonna hurt anything. But I tell you what, playing football, hiring a trainer for your child is a better idea than sending a picture of your son to basically a stranger that you haven't seen.
No, it's the worst idea. That's the worst idea. There's no. It's not.
I saw it on my phone and was like,
"Do not." I thought you were about to show me on your phone. I was like, "Do not put." No.
It's long gone. But like, I looked at it and was like, I had to put the phone down. We had been messaging like.
You had to break the phone.
Like, the next day before I even replied, because the fuck, man. It's weird, but he got off Facebook probably because he was like, "Oh shit, that's weird."
Yeah, because the fucking feds are after him right now. That's why.
Bro, you saw that? I almost died. I don't know if you just saw that.
Did you fall back, you fucking lunatic?
So my chair has this little rod that keeps it from rocking back, and I thought it was in place, but it wasn't. You know why? The government heard me say I had a picture of a teenage boy in his underwear on my phone.
Yeah, I kind of wish you'd stop saying it, to be honest with you.
God damn. Nah, I'm sending it to you right now, Chase.
I don't like this. This is not okay.
I'll post the link in the comments.
Josh, let me let me take this somewhere else. Can I put this energy towards someone else and take this fucking spotlight off of you, bud? I got the perfect target. There's this dude. The dude, I think we talked about him on the last podcast. The guy that you thought was a shitty booty boy that's just a homeless dude in a van. I think we talked about him, right?
No. I don't think you told me he was home. I don't think you told me I was making fun of a homeless dude. I don't think that came up.
He's a comic.
Oh, all right. Oh, van life. Yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah.
Clean your butt. Clean your butt. We talked
you thought he was that. Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, it's one up.
You can say he's not. He is.
Yeah. Anyway, that dude, straight up got, like, I might even talk about this that week, but it fits better now. So he's got some fucking bit about, he really just should talk about Jeffrey Epstein, but he goes about it in like a weird, edgy way where he's like, I'm going to talk about pedophilia now. And now he's introduced the word pedophilia. And anyway, so
as a dude who lives in your van, you shouldn't be the one who brings it up.
And that's how he tags it. And he's like, and also I know what this looks like because I live in a van or whatever. And it's like, yeah, we all also see how it looks, Jake. Like we see that too, bud. And
bad luck, dude.
One of the shows, we did like 5 shows together, and one of them he tried to he thought he could be more ridiculous with it and get over on it because they obviously pulled back once he started talking pedophilia, right? And
I wonder why.
Yeah. And
you saw how you just reacted?
Yeah. And he goes, guys, don't worry, I'm a pedophile. That's what he thought. Like he thought calling himself a pedophile would make, and it totally didn't. And then he was just in that.
Oh, that didn't go over?
Yeah, that did go over. And he's out of Portland, and so he was telling me his reason, and he was like, yeah, I don't know, but like back home, whenever I do that, it relieves the tension or whatever. Everybody knows that I'm joking. I was like, it's because you live in the weirdest place ever. Portland would kind of understand
Portland?
that shit.
Right. Yeah, no, Portland's on board. You could buy kids in Portland, I heard.
Pretty sure you're right. I don't even think you're being crazy right now. But yeah, so I just wanted to throw him under the bus right quick, so hopefully people wouldn't come get you.
Nice. We could just change the subject completely if you wanted to. I'm good with that. I did Stone versus Drunk versus Sober.
Dead
last
sober.
Week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I was team sober. I showed
all the
up
way.
Straight up, not on any intoxicants whatsoever. And I told jokes about Jesus. We won. I fucking won. Stone versus Drunk versus Sober.
Goddamn right you did.
I've done that show, I don't know, 6 times, and I finally won. I was amped as fuck. And I forgot. And they had a beer there that was a lime sherbet beer, and they had something with protein. And I was like, oh, if a beer has protein in it, I'll drink it. I don't even care what it is. And that was bad. Don't do that. Don't.
Yeah, what are we talking about right now?
Dude, if a protein shake had alcohol in it, that's what this beer tasted like.
Okay. But it wasn't actually a protein shake.
No, it had protein in it.
It was
20
a protein
grams of protein, a beer. Yeah. No, a beer. Like at the show.
I got you.
A beer. But it was a protein shake beer.
Yeah.
I don't remember who made it.
You can see my confusion. You can understand.
For sure.
Yeah.
The bartender explained it to me so many times that I left a $30 tip because I made her explain to me. I was like, no. What? Say it again. And she's like, it has protein in it. I was like, no, it doesn't. Show me. And she showed me on the bottle.
See, I was like, I still chicken right there. Got chicken right there.
And I got all amped up and I started getting pretty hammered. I tried to fight a dude from the stage because he asked to have one of the hamburgers that I walked on stage eating.
Okay, just gonna drop that in there right quick.
I had 2 burgers in my hand.
Yeah.
I walked up. I set them down on the stage.
Okay, all right. Already lost me.
I'm Team Stone, bud. And I forgot to put them down before I walked on stage. They know they're getting a Team Stone member. I walked up and I said, do you know how stoned I am? I forgot to set these burgers down before I walked onto the stage.
Still got to back up. Burgers. 2 burgers. You got 2 burgers. You double fisting burgers? You got...
Yeah, you got 2 meats, no bread. 2 meats, no bread.
So you walk on stage with just 2 meat patties in your hands?
No, I mean it's wrapped in foil like a to-go burger from the food truck.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like in a to-go box. I ordered it and then forgot to
How
put
dare
it down.
you get defensive right now? How dare you?
Well, I mean, I just walk up with 2 patties. It's like in a bag to go. Like, I just forgot to set
and
it
then
down.
you walked on stage with those. I got you.
Yeah, with the bag. And then I had to set the bag down. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't understand what the problem is. I forgot to put the bag down, so I still had it in my hand. I don't know how that's... I don't know. When the food truck line is an hour long, you get in it when you get in it, and you get your food when you get it. And I just forgot to set it down. Fuck you! I won the show. I don't have to explain my goddamn self. I fucking won. Who gives a fuck?
On the show.
Nah, no, fuck that, dude. I won. I was so fucked up. Because I had my vape. I had taken some edibles. I smoked a blunt. Like, it was just a whew. And then I was going on last. And it got wild. It was a good night. It was really fun. It was packed out. Like, the Lafayette shows for that especially are just packed. But there was a guy there that books a show in Lake Charles. So I'm doing a show at the Crying Eagle Brewery in Lake Charles on November 19th.
I think we have a Crying Eagle here. Or it's like a Laughing Eagle or something. We got some type of eagle.
You think I could do a loop?
I think so. I think it routes well. It's a good routing. You do Lake Charles one night, and then
Seattle,
and then you do Seattle the next night. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's easy, no problem.
Yeah. No flight.
I fucking murdered.
Don't pay travel.
It was the best set I've had since the pandemic because, this sounds so stupid. I didn't do shows for over a year. I did nothing because I was so paranoid about the pandemic and I was worried about the virus that was killing everybody. So I didn't do shows. Stupid. And then my first 1 or 2 back, I was really rusty. I didn't remember my jokes and they didn't flow as smooth as I'd want. I sounded like the rest of you fucks and not 3 levels above like I should.
Right.
And I was so excited to be out at a show that I didn't go over it in my head. I just was excited to be out. You know what I mean? And this one, I went over my set in my head. I tried to time out stuff to callbacks and not just, I remember this joke now and saying it. I broke out my paintings bit again. And now I've switched it around to being a pandemic thing.
Of course.
And every time I bring those paintings, I feel like a hack because I bring props. But I have never once not destroyed with that joke. That joke just, every time, it kills. So I used it. It went great. I won. Was coming off the stage. The guy from Lake Charles came to offer me a show. And then there was a 100-year-old heckler at the show. And he heckled Chase Bonin, who went up before me. Bonin? How do you say it? Is it Bonin?
Bonin.
I've heard people say it a bunch of different ways. Chase.
It's Bonin.
All right. Chase went up, and this old guy started heckling him. And when I tell you, like, 100 years old, people were uncomfortable around him because he was so old and stooped over, and he was buying drinks for all the women around him, and then would shake their hands and would stay around too long. Like, he was just making everybody uncomfortable, and it was being noticed. And he came off as soon as we got off stage. Oh, I'm sorry. He heckled Chase Bonin and said something about life is too short to listen to this. And Chase is like, cool. By the time you make it out of the parking lot, you're gonna be dead anyway. Because you're 100.
I mean, that's whatever. What you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. You gotta do that.
And the guy walked off, but then he came back after the show and he walked up to me. And there's nothing I hate more than being touched more than necessary. If you want to hug me, I'll hug you. I love a hug. But don't shake my hand, put your arm around my neck and squeeze. And he shook my hand and then did like the cool guy shake and he squeezed my neck. And he did it for so long that I had to look at his old body to gauge, can I push or hit this old person without being, am I the villain if I push or hit this old person? And I would have been, for sure. But I was still like, it might be worth if he doesn't let me fucking go. And then he told Chase Bonin, he said, do you speak French? And Chase Bonin said, no. And he goes, oh, poulez-vous something, flat ass. And then pointed at me. And
that old saying, that old French saying about the fat ass.
Chase,
you speak another language? I want to tell the dude he has a flat ass.
Flat ass. I can't, Chase.
That's what I said.
I do at least 100 squats a day, every day with a kettlebell. My ass is fat as fuck. All right? Flat ass. You sorry motherfucker. I was so mad that I was like,
I just don't get where he was like, he's like, do you speak Spanish?
I don't understand what that was either.
Fucking saggy tits over here, huh? Right? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, he didn't say anything in French. Do you speak French? Your friend has a flat ass.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
What?
Leave my ass alone, old man.
What'd you worry
about my ass for?
I was so mad that I let him sit there and manhandle me for however long it was, and then for him to say that oh God, I was so pissed off. And then he turned around and just tripped and fell right over in the gravel, flat on his face. It took him a while to get up. And if you want to know how shitty a person he was all night, 100-year-old man fell over face first in the gravel, and not one of the 200 people around him moved. Nobody. I saw some people spit on him. Fuck that old man.
People was doing it.
I'll show you a flat ass. I'll show you a dead ass, old man. I'll dead ass kill you. How about that? You dirty old fuck. I'll break your hip. Dude, I was so mad. I was so mad at this old man asking if he could say I had a flat ass in French. Fuck you. I hope you listen to this.
Well said. Well said, buddy.
I am a wordsmith.
That you are. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. That's what people come to the show for. This is the elegant way me and you speak.
You must not know what a patriot I am.
I got heckled by these two fucking crackheads. I had this crackhead couple at my show Wednesday, and I don't even feel bad about calling them that. And the problem with it is that they outnumbered the rest of the audience. These two people. You can't
do a show with more crackheads than not crackheads.
That's just
Never
a
works
rule.
out.
Like whenever they say, look, they're like, look.
They should be counting how many crackheads are in before they let more in.
Right. No, and if you see another one, you gotta make them wait at the door. We gotta let five alcoholics in, and then we can let one more crackhead in. And then,
what are you motherfuckers?
Well, yeah, but we can't just let you run loose in here. Oh. And they're a crackhead couple, so they're strong. They're strong together. You know what I'm saying? And they could.
There's definitely strength in numbers.
They could take over a room, and so I know how like delicate this situation is because there's three comics on the show. You ever seen that movie
World War Z? You ever seen World War Z where they just flood? That's what. Exact same thing.
That's exact same thing. And so I'm trying to keep them quiet so that they don't like make some crackhead call and have them just fucking.
So you're doing a show with two crackheads in the
yes, and then just another guy who came to meet up with with the headliner of the show who he met on Facebook, and this is his first time meeting this guy in real life. He came out and he just wants to see his funny buddy, and his funny buddy is performing in front of three people. Yeah. And so I go up, I try to do my set. First off, the booker tried to have us do a full show, and I told him absolutely not. I will not. These people do not want to hear an hour and a half show. Are you out of your mind? It's 30 minutes per person. That is way too much. These people, I'm not even sure these people aren't funnier than some of the people on this show. We don't even know if we got the right three people in this room performing tonight. And you want to do an hour and a half show. We might have to switch things around. These two crackheads.
Maybe you go sit out there. Maybe you go be the crackhead.
Yeah. All right. We're not exactly sure how the roles are. And so I'm like, no, we're fucking cutting this shit down. Host, you're like Booker host. I just got no respect for him. Just taking over. Just to know you're doing 5 minutes. I'm doing like 15. The headliner's doing 25.
And that's the way it is.
I'll never forgive you for this. I would never forgive you for the rest of my life for this.
Good. Never.
Not ever. He asked me to do this show by in the message being like, hey, I know this is not enough money. Which, boy.
Not a great start.
Yeah. I would love for people to know that it's not enough money and not talk to me about that. That's what I would like. Yeah. I would like for you to know it's not enough money and then shut the fuck up and realize Chase might not want to do that. But he knows I'll do it. He knows because I value friendship for some reason. And look where
you have that Louisiana and where you're just gonna do whatever show you can get on. I guess you're gonna pay.
And look where it got me. Being nice with this dude. Being nice with this dude got me performing for three people and a crackhead strong couple heckling me. in the middle. Josh, I start off and I go with the mindset of like, I'm just going to do 15 minutes autopilot. I'm not like, because by the way, the host started it off uncomfortably. It was already going to be uncomfortable. Yes. Why not? Why not crowd work?
Hey, what's your favorite kind of crack?
Why not? Yeah, why not crank them up a little bit? Why not get them going some?
With my crackheads in the house.
Yeah, let them feel like they're part of the show. You know what I'm saying? Let them feel like they're a valued part of the show.
They're not.
And they're not. No. And so he the host goes the host / booker, he's the same dude. He goes he makes some joke. First off, dude crackhead heckled him immediately, like the second he touched the microphone, and he was like,
was it a good heckle?
It was like a friendlier one, but it was still like you could tell like, oh, that's gonna be a problem if it keeps going. And so but the way this should have handled is dude starts, guy heckles, dude counters it, we all laugh, we've established dominance, and we keep moving. That's the way that it is. But instead, he gets the laugh, the comedian gets the laugh off of the heckle, and then goes in farther and goes, what was the last prison that you were in? Which is not something that he needs to say. And then Crackhead ain't never been shy. And so he goes, I was in whatever prison. I don't remember the name of it.
Awesome, motherfucker.
It was a prison. I escaped Alcatraz, motherfucker.
You ever heard of The Rock?
and so that's still, we kind of like are in a playful, oh my god, I can't believe he answered it, but now it's definitely, you got enough information, let's move forward. But he goes with a second question, which is what did you do? What did you do? Oh, a question we all need to know.
So a crackhead says, yes, I've been to prison, and his idea was I should ask more.
I need to know what I need you to tell me and these 5 other people in here what you did. I assume the girl next to you knows what you did. And here's the thing, Josh, there's no real way for that to go. It's not like people go to jail for fun reasons or anything like that. Like he didn't steal a bunch of candy. I stole a bunch of gobstoppers and they put me to jail.
I wanted to preach to the other people that were in there about how bad it is to be in there.
That's what I was there for. I volunteered for prison.
I didn't even do a crime. I just asked to go so I could talk to them.
I volunteered. I did someone else's time for them because I felt like they had so much potential in the world. I did that for them. It's just a program.
The judicial system is fucked. Everybody knows that.
Let's talk. Actually, can I see the mic? I got some things to say.
Actually, come on.
Are we sure he's the host? I don't think. We still got that idea of switching it up. I think I want to try to be a comedian. Somebody,
how great would that be?
Tag me in. And so, there's nowhere fun to go. And so it turns out the dude, it had something to do with a gun, which, boy, that's fun too. Now we got gun energy out
crackhead?
there. Yeah. Crackhead had a gun that, sent him to jail or some shit. And, so that's how the show starts. And then the host, he gets that awkward energy. And then he goes, all right, well, time to start the show. Chase Myers, ladies and gentlemen, because he's clearly done his job.
There's nothing I hate more than I'm going to ruin this show and then bring up whoever's next.
Yeah, I'd like it had a 0% chance of working. But
all right, you fucking dipshits, here's your next comedian.
But how dare you make it worse? How dare you make it worse than the 0% chance? I knew these 3 people because, by the way, the other dude that was there, even though he was there like just to meet a guy that he met on Facebook or whatever the fuck, he was just like a regular dude. He wasn't like, he was boring. He's just a boring dude.
This dude, the host of this show thought the cards were stacked too much in your favor.
Yeah.
Oh God. If you're listening to that, I drank a lime cucumber beer.
That's also an energy. That's also a protein shake.
It's also a protein shake, a pre-workout, and it's got creatine in it, and it makes you dick wet.
So it also makes you burp.
That was it.
Yeah, it makes you burp.
It's not crack, but it does make you burp.
It's not crack though.
It's not crack though.
Not crack.
If anybody was wondering.
So he brings me up, and my like I said, my move was I thought I'm just gonna power through 15 minutes of my act.
You didn't do crowd work?
I'm not gonna do crowd work. No, I'm just gonna get up here.
You should have opened with, let's go back to that prison thing. What?
Okay, so. All right, so day one, right? You walk in. What are we thinking? What?
Did you ever get raped?
Look around. What do you see? What do you see? How many shanks are out?
What was the food like?
I go up. I start my act. I'm mumbling through it. Yeah, I'm from Louisiana. Fuck it, you don't give a fuck. I moved to Seattle. So I moved to Seattle because you got weed. You got weed here. Seattle is legal here, and it's a legal thing.
Crack.
And then hey, crack. We love crack. Don't forget about the crack. I said, ma'am, I know about the crack. I know all about the crack. I love crack so much. Crack is the reason I'm here right now, because if I had smoked crack, I could go to something other than this free show. And so now she's like interrupting everything, talking about her love of crack or whatever, and then her boyfriend.
Drugs and crack have ruined my life.
And her boyfriend's like, whoa, let me speak very clearly. She's out of it. I know how to talk in public in the middle of the show. She smoked way too much crack. So let me. And he goes, you would hate to watch a movie with her. She ruins every movie. I was like, I hate her. I hate doing comedy towards her. I hate how she watches comedy.
Doing comedy towards her.
Yeah, it's not for her. It's not for her at all. It's just happening at her. It's just she's just there. And
people that aren't from Louisiana have a hard time understanding doing comedy at people. But
yeah,
that's what happens down here. You do it at them. You hope they catch it. Maybe not.
Yeah, and they just like pointing out my arms, like my hands like shaking with the mic whenever I get up there. Like I'm doing it on purpose, but like, and so old girl calls it out. Purpose? She's like, I don't know. It just was like I was just kind of moving a lot, and I was trying, like.
I thought you were just standing there doing this to fuck with a crackhead. That's awesome,
dude. Nah, it's like little.
And they're just sitting there and they're like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah. It's
I've never
like
done crack. I don't know what it's like.
It's like one of these moves where I'm kind of, doing like that. Really good
I
for
hold
the
the mic
people
like
listening.
this.
I hold it still, terrified. I don't even take out the mic stand. And so she sees me shaking, and so she's like, "Oh, you like crack?" And
hey, we got something in common.
Yeah, and so she cuts me off like immediately. And it's just one of those heckles where like they launch into a story when they start talking, like, and you got to deal with that.
I'll tell you, if I know anything about crackheads from my time in New Orleans and Baton Rouge, they love to talk about crack. It's like their favorite. It's their favorite thing. They'll talk about.
Talk about what you know. You talk about what you know.
I've never tried crack. It might be great. I've never tried it. I don't know, so I can't judge. I like weed. I have never found crack to try. Hit me up if you got some crack.
Got some crack? Hit me up. I'll do it.
All right, so you're being heckled by a crackhead. They're telling you a life story.
Yeah,
good
it's
story.
Just the worst.
Makes sense. Connects. Connects. Everything follows through.
Yeah. Oh, it makes sense for what's in front of me. Yeah, nothing they said.
It makes sense.
Like I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. That's kind of what I thought you guys would be telling me right now. Her name was like Sephora or some shit like that. Like it was, yeah.
Of course it was.
And so I just do my side, like, after it's one of those things where I've somehow done like the equivalent of what would be like 30 minutes of material, but it's only 7 minutes into the set. And I'm like,
I know how that goes.
Yeah, I've done 3 closers. I don't know how I'm still on stage right now. And so yeah, I just get off stage. I just fucking mumble my way off stage, just defeated. And headliner goes up, and he has the same idea that I had at the beginning, and his spirit got broke like 2 minutes
so
in.
Quick, huh?
Whenever he realized, like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm not really gonna get a reaction, and he's like, definitely, he hams it up a little bit. He needs reaction. So yeah, it was tough. I really just want to say
Tommy
that.
Llama?
No, I would have fucking said if it was Tommy Llama. You wouldn't have any problem. We wouldn't have got this far into the show if Tommy Llama ever was in my life again. That's for sure.
I need to post it down here, but one of our friends that's listened to us from the Chase and Josh Talk days sent me a message, and it was a picture of their local, like, Funny Bone or whatever it is, and it was Tommy Llama was coming. And they were like, I want to go just to heckle him, or just to fuck with him or something.
You go for the experience. Go for the experience. I don't know you know this, but he's Charlie Sheen's spiritual advisor. So
That's still hilarious.
I hate him, Josh. I hate him so much.
Oh, buddy, I know you do.
My friend Miles Weber is a very good comedian out of Sacramento, and he's in Vegas now. And he was at the competition that Tommy Lama stole, and he was there whenever I told Tommy that I hate him, and and me and Miles are somewhere. We're doing some gig together, and the other comic, we were like another comic that Miles knew or something like that, and he was like, hey man, this is my buddy Chase Myers. I watched him tell Tommy Lama to his face he fucking hates him. It's like how he introduced me. It made me so happy.
Chase, I will tell the people listening to this podcast, if you're not familiar with your host right here, let me explain to you. Josh Watts, if you cross us, I'll come get in your face. I'll yell, I'll bump chests with you, I'll try to anger you. Chase will say directly to your face whatever he wants. And he will walk away and get in his car and drive off before they realize they just got shit on. I've seen it happen a million times. He'll leave and somebody goes, oh, Chase was just here, and wait a minute.
I think he told me to fuck myself. He did.
I'll watch him just go, he said I wasn't funny.
He did tell me to fuck myself. He did tell me he wasn't going to shake my hand and that he was going to look at me side-eyed every time he saw me.
I've said it 100 times. I'll say it again. I have refused to shake people's hands. I have made everybody uncomfortable, but I have never seen anything like that time you refused to. A guy hosted a show down here in Louisiana. A headliner came from New York, and the host paid the headliner $50 and kept like $400 for himself, and gave the comic who came from New York like $50
and didn't pay any of the locals.
And didn't pay any of the locals. He kept all $400 for himself or whatever. And we made it very clear that we didn't appreciate it. We didn't want to talk to him. I just turned my back on him, but he stuck his hand out to shake Chase's hand, the guy who hosted it. And Chase looked down at his hand and said, I'm not shaking your hand. And then stood there. It felt like 20 minutes of the guy going, what? And Chase just looking at his hand. The resilience and fortitude it took to fucking plant your feet there and look him in his dumb face and not Chase never explained it any further. He said, I'm not shaking your hand, and then didn't shake his hand. No matter how long, no matter what he said, I'm not shaking your hand, and he didn't. And it was fucking beautiful. Chase is the voice in my head. The conscience in my head, when I think I'm about to overreact to something or how I should react, I always think, what's Chase going to do? And then if I don't like it, I go, oh no, I'm going to hit him or whatever. But Chase's response is always...
It's in there. I hear
Chase
it.
Chase has made me I've caught myself asking my kids, so how did you think that was going to work out?
It's a good question to have back there. Just
when we were open micers at the station in Baton Rouge, a headliner traveling around, I don't want to run who they were, said some fairly inappropriate stuff to one of the female comics, comics on our show.
I forgot about that.
And Chase straight up said to this guy's face, What part of what you just said did you think was okay?
I forgot about that one, yeah.
Bruh, that dude tried to explain himself. And Chase goes, so you think that was okay? So that sounds like something you should say to another person? And it became the most awkward, beautiful moment I've seen in a long time.
I think after a while, I started telling him to stop talking. I was like, stop talking. There's nothing you can say. Yeah, I was like, there's nothing you can say.
You said you're not recovering. You're not going to recover. That's what you kept saying.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Dude, I have the worst memory in the world, except for when Chase embarrasses people. I fucking love it. I can't get enough of it. It's one of my favorite things in the world.
I've tricked my job into promoting me.
What? Congratulations!
Yeah, and so I get to do the sly shit now.
You're Jeff Bezos?
I'm Bezos, bro. I'm going to space. I'm going to space I'm going to space so I can litter. I'm just going to space and I'm just throwing Starbucks just in the atmosphere. I'm just throwing it up there.
I'll send you some beer cans you can throw out there for me.
Dude, yeah.
Take some merch, some Buckets of Duckets merch, and throw it out into space.
Yes! That's what I'm talking about. That's the exposure we need.
Wait,
Go ahead.
Can I tell you something real quick before I forget it? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Sure.
When I did the Stone Drunk Sober show, a woman came up to me after the show and said, "I'm a nurse, and I saw the heart attack tattoos on your arm."
Oh, Jesus.
And I was like, "Oh no, they're not heart attacks. This is my son's ultrasound, his heartbeat from his first ultrasound, and this is my daughter's." And this girl looked at me and goes, "No, those are heart attacks."
No.
And I was like, "I don't. Maybe."
Maybe
She
my
goes, "I'm a
babies were
nurse.
having.
I work in the ICU," and I went, "Yeah, maybe, just to stop it."
Yeah. Yeah, maybe my babies were having little heart attacks at
That's probably
gestation. I'm sure.
That's
I'm
probably
sure
what
that's
it was.
I'm sure they were dying 1,000 lives in there. Are you right? I didn't bring the ultrasound to the tattoo guy and have him trace it perfectly.
I don't have a radiology degree and understand how ultrasounds work. So
also, yeah, you are an X-ray tech. That is funny.
Yeah, so I don't know what that. Yeah, you're right. You got me.
I forgot about that part of it. So I got promoted because they're fools, and
you fucking suckers.
You suck. Listen how I got over on them. Listen
how I got over on them.
Listen to these fucking. So 3 years ago, I'm doing stand up full time. It's all I'm doing. I'm living.
I love that your story of a promotion started with, "This is how I got over on them." All right, 3 years ago.
Dude, you know how I work, bro.
This is a long con, motherfuckers.
Yo, the Louisiana slow burn, okay? That's what they call me up here. That is absolute. You know that's my nickname, right? You know Gabe Rutledge calls me that. Yeah.
I do, but I've never heard it fit in so perfectly.
Yeah.
That's the name of the episode. That's the name of the episode.
So 3 years ago, by the way, the long con is also just like I'm kind of a hard worker whenever I want to be. But but the other side of it,
just to clarify for the people listening, I just told Michelle this. Chase, I told her that you got a promotion, and she said to tell you congratulations, by the way. I told her how hard a worker Chase is, and I was like, when he used to work at AT&T, this is what I said. As a 41-year-old father of two, I said, when he used to work at AT&T, he wouldn't even get high before he went, just in case. And she goes, "Yeah, because he's hooking his people's phones up." I was like, "Yeah, I know, right?" And he wouldn't even get high. And she's like, he's a good worker. And I was like,
I mean, maybe you didn't hear what I said, but I
don't
mean,
know if you heard me.
I don't.
But
I'm saying, like, Nobel Peace Prize level. Like, work this man was doing. But okay, all right, I guess that's just normal.
No.
Oh yeah, like you're working with a bunch of people that aren't high all the time. Okay.
I haven't had a job in a decade, but I guess you know what you're talking about.
Okay. I guess I'm dumb.
All right.
3 years ago, I'm working. I'm living my dream. I'm full time, just a comedian. I'm making just enough money to pay all my bills, and not one thing can happen wrong in my life. If anything goes wrong, it's over. It's all over. All right, the fucking ship's going down. I got it. So, my buddy Gabe Rutledge, who nicknamed me the Louisiana Slow Burn, helped me get in with. Yeah, he's one of the greatest comics. It's crazy. He helped me get the coughing under control, Josh.
Sorry, man.
He helped me get in with the Looney Bin Comedy Clubs years ago. And I've worked for them for 4 years since then, so he's put money in my pocket for years now. Fuck, what was I getting at? I'm over here kissing Gabe's ass, and I fucking forgot the whole point of what I was. So I get that tour. I know I have that coming up, but now I'm broke. I spent money on merch. I'm trying to get ready. I want to have some money for when I go on tour, to where that I can kind of live and not be broke while I'm out there. And so I get with this temp agency. They put me at this warehouse. The warehouse is like on fire. Like they're moving from one place to a next, and like it's just had like a big change of like who's running shit, and everybody's temps and nobody knows what's going on, and it's just a shit
Did you
show.
move like physical location?
Yes.
It's the worst thing you could. When I worked for FEMA, I ran warehouses for FEMA. We had to move from a old Winn-Dixie to a super Walmart.
Yeah.
And in the move, you're like, oh no, our numbers are right. But in the move, you find so much stuff,
So
and then
everything,
stuff
yeah.
disappears, and you're like, well, you're fucked. That's the worst
Yeah.
part about it. Ugh.
So they're showing me something about it. Was like one of those things of like, I am not I'm about to do my Forrest Gump. I'm not a smart man. But I don't know. I think I have more common sense. I at least wait a second before I show that I'm dumb. You know what I'm saying? And like, I guess not everybody does that. I guess some people just show immediately that they're dumb. And so it's like day one of me working at this warehouse. They show me like one thing. They're like showing me how to like pick an order. They're like, hey, you scan this shirt, whatever. Oh, you gotta make sure sometimes it needs multiple of the shirt. And I'm like, oh, so do I need to make sure, like, are they serialized? Like, is each shirt like specific number to that, or is it one SKU for all of it? And then I saw their face like fucking explode and was like, what was that question you just asked me? And then they put me in charge of inventory like day 2. And so I'm like day 2 in charge of inventory there. I'm trying to make as much money as possible before I go to tour. I'm telling everybody I'm here for 2 months and you can all kiss my fucking ass.
I remember.
Yeah, I was like, I'm in and out. I'm fucking gonna make this money and then you're gonna fucking see me on Conan, bitch. That's the exact time you're gonna see me. And I'm doing all that shit, and I'm working like 50, 60 hours a week. I'm trying to stack as much money as I can before I go on tour. And I do a show while I'm there. Some of the I've made such a big fuss of telling everybody that I'm the greatest that like they're like, we want to see if this dude's good. And so they come out, they see me at Tacoma Comedy Club, which let me tell you, it is so nice to be able to invite people that you work with to a comedy club as opposed to like come out to this bar with the TVs on during Monday Night Football. It's a Monday night, by the way. Come out to Monday night comedy.
You have to be at work the next morning.
Yeah, the show starts at 9:30 too, so don't
But it's actually going to start at 10:30.
It's actually going to start at 10:30, depending on when the game ends. And so they come out. It's literally called. Right now I'm just blowing myself in the story, but it's literally called it's really called The Best of Tacoma. Right, that's the show. It's the best
right, it is.
Of Tacoma. Tacoma's a little city right outside of Seattle.
I was so close to moving to Tacoma I was almost stationed at the Air Force Base up there. I don't remember what it was. But it's in Tacoma.
Bangor or something like that. Doesn't matter. Might matter. Maybe it matters. Looks like it matters.
Bangor is a city in Maine.
Okay. It's also like kind of what some military base up here sounds like. That I'm probably saying wrong.
Whatever.
Probably right. So Tacoma's best comedians, and guess who's closing the motherfucking show? Your goddamn boy. And so they all come out. Everybody that has invested their lives in working at this warehouse, has never had a dream outside of that, is watching me murder in front of over 150 people. And they were all just like, dude, you can come back and work here whenever you need, and you can take off whenever you have shows or whatever. Like, you're a temp, that's fine. And so I go on tour. I fucking set the world on fire. And then I come back and I go, hey, I think it'd be smart if I stay as a temp at that place. And so I've literally been a temp at this place for 3 years. I like ended up like the job I took over, they used to like bring people like orders that were missing inventory. Like they would just bring it to them on a pallet. And I somehow convinced them to like give me my own little like side of the warehouse with a desk and a computer and all this shit. Like, and it's just been my job for all this time. Anyway, so they just promoted me to like assistant, the biggest dick in there, whatever. Yeah, I got a raise. Yeah, I got a little money. I got a couple ducats. They threw some ducats in the bucket. Yeah, and so. But I asked them, I was like, by the way, this doesn't change like touring schedules and shows and stuff. And they're like, no. They're like, can we just get like, at minimum, it'd just be like 2 weeks at the most. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Actually, I'm kind of over it. My body gets beat down if I'm on the road for longer than 2 weeks because I'm the type of comic that has been on the road for longer than 2 weeks. These things I do. And so I got to keep saying stuff like that because I don't like talking about my day job. So I got to keep reminding motherfuckers that this is not my real life. And so, yeah, I'm assistant big shit at whatever, and I'm helping run one of the clients there. And my sarcasm is I'm having a good time with it. I'm just peppering people all day. I'm just
Good. They deserve
let
it. Get 'em.
people ask me dumb questions. I'm not telling them dumb answers. I'm just I'm kind of I'm doing a lot of walking away, and they're realizing what I actually said. But yeah, I'm actually it's actually one of the best things I ever did was go to that job because it kept me able to pay my bills while I did comedy.
They seem to really they really work with you. It sounds like from everything you told me.
like,
That's awesome.
Pretty much anytime I need off, they let me go. And so it's funny, I'm still a temp even though they just promoted me to like a lead position in the warehouse, but I'm still a temp, baby.
God damn.
Yeah, but it's really funny, like just trying to get used to like, I just been working with all these people, and now I'm supposed to be telling them what to do, and like shit that I really didn't care about before, now I got to care about. Like this fucking dummy ran his fucking forklift into another forklift the other day, and before I'd have just roasted his stupid ass over and over again and just like matter of fact, when he hit it, that's what happened. He hit. I heard the pow. I looked over. My immediate reaction was like, ha, 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 ha. And then I went, oh, shit. I got to do something. And I had to go over and tell him something about it. And like now, like people are coming up to me that like, I've worked with for all this time. And they're going, hey, my baby is just so sick. And I got to leave to go take care of my baby. And will you please let me go and be around my baby? Please, Chase. Please. Can I leave this godforsaken place and go see? Don't keep me from my child, Chase. And I'm like, oh,
let me have my baby.
Yeah, please leave. Yes, if you have an emergency, fucking doors open. Important. Honestly, I don't give a shit. Everybody can leave. I don't give a fuck.
Bye.
Yeah, but I had two people. That like, because it is funny. I do now have to have a little bit of a boss brain. Where like I know the game, like I know that you should like get to a place, work really hard, and then whenever you slack off and stuff, it's kind of not they're not going to come down on you as hard. Like that's the give and take of what it is. But I got this dude. Like from day one, I was after him. I was trying to get this dude out of here. Like this motherfucker just shows up every day and just every day does nothing.
Just every
day. High weed smoke every day, Josh, and acts like I don't know. Somebody high on weed smoke looks like. Josh, do I look like a fool to you? I know that you high on weed smoke in my warehouse. Okay, I know.
I do a podcast with a guy who's high all the time.
Okay. He actually wasn't high. He's just lazy. It's just that's what it was. It was the fucking nerve of you to act like I can't see you. That's what I couldn't believe. Like, how fucking dare like, bro, this dude, I have to get there at 6 in the morning now, by the way.
How fucking dare you?
I get there at 6 in the morning. This dude didn't start moving until 6:45. He went and grabbed his gun so he could scan things at 6:45. This is like my second day of running shit, and I had to fucking set down that I'm not the fucking substitute teacher. So I had to fucking, Javion, how the fuck are you just now grabbing your gun at 6? Dude, I came at him hot. Like 6:45. I was trying to assert dominance around it. I just fucking snapped his neck right in front of everybody. It just dragged him around. So, is there any questions about how things are gonna go?
He is now answering to his God. Oh, fuck.
His God will deal with him. And he is in his hands now. Okay,
do
because when Chase is here.
Soul.
Yeah, when Chase is here, we start on time. You grab your shit, right? And so I
pictured you snapping somebody's neck and yelling at somebody, "Don't you cry! Don't you cry! He had it coming!"
Cry. Oh, you feel sorry for this dude? Is this your hero?
He had kids.
Wah.
All
right,
fuck.
So I hate this fucking dude. I got it out for him from the beginning. And by the way, I only have it out for him. He did it to himself. Okay, I'm just the one that fucking sees it. And so he's got. They're picking up. I cannot believe I'm talking this much about work on my goddamn podcast. But there's humor in it. It's fucking so. I'm a fucking good stand-up comic, Josh. I'm not a lead manager at a warehouse. Okay. And so, see,
I love that you just defended that to your best friend of a decade. I'm like, yeah, you're the funniest comic I've ever met in my life. I know that.
I know, but I can yell at you. I don't want to yell at the
I've
people
seen
listening.
you thousands of times.
So, I'm gonna quit. This is what just happened. I'm gonna walk in tomorrow and fucking quit. I'm going in at 6 in the morning.
The next episode will be Chase quit his job.
Yeah. I thought I was corporate.
Told him, I'm a fucking comic. I can go for 2 weeks if I want to, you motherfuckers.
Just 3-week tours. All my tours are 3 weeks now. Hold me down.
You kick the door open with your foot as you walk out.
All right, so I'm after Javion, okay? Because if I gotta be the fucking lead manager of a place, we're gonna fucking run perfect, okay?
Whoa.
This is gonna be a well-oiled machine, and you're not hiding behind any fucking box, Javion. Like, I can't find you. I can find you, Javion, every time, bro. Bro, this dude, they have to pick, like, that for an order, they have to do, like, 50 units an hour. This motherfucker's hitting, like, 30, and I've had to talk to him, like, several times. Like, hey, can you move faster than that 57-year-old woman that you work with that's currently kicking your fucking ass and walking around, grabbing stuff off a shelf and putting it in a box? Could you please do better than the lady that I know has a bad hip? Can you please, with your 2 hips, beat sweet Julie with her bad hip? Can you please do that?
Is this an Amazon warehouse?
No, it's a different warehouse.
That's even crazier.
Yeah, and so I've had this out. I've done that a couple times. I've told the lead, like, day one, he was like, hey, man, how's it going? How was your first days working it? I was like, Javion's got to go. That dude's got to get out of here. And I put it in
Chase is part of the fucking elite now, pulling down jobs.
He's got to go. I told you what it is. He's got it. By the way, it's a fucking temp agency. They'll put him in another warehouse tomorrow. Not mine, though. You're getting the fuck out of here. If I have to, I'll say it again. If I have to be the lead of a fucking warehouse, it's going to run right, okay?
Dude, this is the most shocking heel turn I've ever seen in my life. I'm waiting on you to super kick me through the Zoom right now and quit comedy and just run a warehouse. Now that's what's gonna happen.
And never see weeds. Never do weeds again. Just done with weed. Just never.
Yeah, you straight edge and you only work at Jesus. It's God, Jesus, and Toby Keith, you bitches.
That's it for me. So anyway, he was fucking off again after like 2 weeks of doing it and me pointing it out to Mike. Mike saw it, and he goes, hey, did you tell Javion to be fucking off by those boxes over there? And so I sure didn't tell him to be fucking off by those boxes over there. And he went to go cut him and tell him to get out of there. And I was like, please, Mike, please let me walk him to the door. Please, I want to walk him to the door.
God damn, dude.
And
you must not like this motherfucker, huh?
Does it come across? Does it come across at all?
Right.
And so, yeah, he's gone. So he's gone. And so I just want you to know, I'll take your livelihood. I'll straight up take your livelihood from you. That's where I'm at now.
God damn. Right before this started, Chase told me if I didn't get my shit together, we weren't going to record anymore. So this is
Dude,
I'm not surprised by this.
If I have to lead a warehouse, my podcast will be perfect.
God damn it. I got into a fight at the car line the other day.
The car line? Like to pick up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whenever I drop Zoe off at school, I got to sneeze. We dusted and vacuumed and everything, and it's fucked me. Because the only weakness I have is one allergy to dust. So I like to get in the car line like almost an hour early because you get right up to the front. You can scoop right in, pick her up, and then I get to the neighborhood before the bus comes through. There's only one entrance and exit to our neighborhood, so if you're stuck behind a bus, you're fucked.
This big time dad shit right here. This big dad shit right here.
So I leave the house at 3 to pick her up when she gets out at 3:57. And the car line is like, it's the most beautiful ride. I love living out here. It's in the country, so like you're going down just not dirt roads, but like just woods on the sides. And there you come. One of the parts there's a 4-way stop, and everybody is coming to the car line or going straight. Now, when the car line goes, everybody knows that you have to go around because it blocks. It takes like, it's a big school, so it takes blocks occupies blocks of this country roads. So people have to drive down the other side. But there's a part where there's a 4-way stop. And I pulled up and I let the car right here go before me. And then the car across from me was just, I'm not going to wait all fucking day for you to turn. While I'm turning, you can figure out if you're going to turn or not. So I waited. He didn't turn. I turned. And then, Chase, we pulled up at the car line, parked the car. Henry's asleep in the back seat. And I see this dude pull up behind me. And I see his door open. And I see him getting out of his car. And I think, you better fucking not be coming over here. Because Henry's asleep, so I don't have to worry about him seeing me be a bad influence. You better not fucking walk over here. And then, bruh, this dude walked all the way to my car. And he went to knock on my window. And I rolled it down before he knocked at it. And I said, do you want to fight? And he said, what? I said, do you want to fight? Because I'll get out. I'll take my shirt off. We can fight in the street right now. Do you want to fight me? And he goes, oh. I said, do you want a fist fight right now? And he said, and I said, then get back in your fucking car. Get back in your fucking car. Go! Get back in your fucking car.
Get!
And he just like, got back in his car and then sat there for 45 minutes. Right there.
In his fucking car.
Just thinking that I made everybody. And look, there was a chance that he would have wanted to fight. But I gauged my, I'm a statistician. Statistician. Is that the word? Statistician? What is the word? Fuck.
I think
like you follow baseball?
Yeah,
is it statistician?
Yeah, but I feel unsure about it because I saw what you did.
I was running the numbers and I was like, this dude probably isn't going to want to fight. And if he does, he looks like a weak little bitch. I'll break him in half like a wet pretzel. Get up here. Come on. Come get some, bro. And he went and got back in his car. And look, as I don't want to talk about me turning in front of you. There's nothing to talk about. If you don't want to fight, get back in your fucking car. Because there's not. Oh, I
don't know what that talk is. That really hurt my feelings whenever you turned in front of me like that.
I'm sorry you're sad.
I just wish that you think about other people whenever you're driving. It would just be better for the road and the community. You know,
in a car line.
I'm just saying.
You're directly behind me in the car line, so you'll be picking up your kid right behind me anyway. So
the same time.
Get back in your
same time.
Get back in your seat. But I'll tell you, Chase, I was fully prepared. I was like, I will fight this dude right here in the parking lot, in this road. If that's what, I'll get out of his car and take my shirt off, and I'll gladly fight him. And then I realized I had a whole bunch of pre-workout that day, and I was on mushrooms. So it probably wasn't the best day to fight somebody, so I'm glad that he went and got back in his fucking car like a scary little bitch. But to watch the attitude he had walking up, and then to see how quickly it was just like squashed down. Look, Chase, I'm going to be as real as I can be on this podcast. I think sometimes I test people because I'm a stay-at-home dad, so like I don't have a career to be like, hey, I've been working at this. I'm an assistant manager at this warehouse. I just fired some fucking idiot for not working. I don't got that. So I'm like, I made this four-eyed geek in the car line piss his pants to get back in his Accord and hide.
I got that. I got that, bro.
But there's always a chance that he would have fought. Like, he probably is some kind of black belt and I get fucked up. But it didn't happen. Not today. Not today.
Not today. Not today. And I'm feeling good about tomorrow.
Chase, do you want to talk about Dave Chappelle and then get out of here?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get us canceled right quick. Look, here's the thing. I guess I'm a bad person. I don't know. I thought of it as like, man, look at this comedian telling comedies. Look at him up there telling comedies. And
if you don't know, people are very upset at one comedian, David Chappelle, for some jokes that he told in his latest special, Closer, on Netflix. You've watched the special? I've watched it a couple times. You've watched it?
I cried for America right after it happened. Dave, why did you do this to our sweet, sweet country? Okay,
I'll tell you what.
No one did these things until you said them, Dave. Dave, these weren't issues in the world until you came up here with your yucks and you poisoned our society, Dave.
You poisoned it. The second that special was done, I thought to myself, I didn't say it out loud, Chase, but I thought to myself, Nate Bargatze never tried to turn me against trans people. So I watched the special. People are upset at his opinions about trans people. I don't agree with his opinions at all.
Their opinions?
Their opinions of a
And
person.
they're surprisingly pretty well thought out and have some real like validity. It's not like ignorant. He's not an ignorant person up there stating things. He's he's phrasing it from the standpoint of like he's a black man and he's watching how the LGBTQ community, how they're advancing and things versus how black issues are being advanced, and he's going at it a lot of times from those angles. And me as a white man, really should just shut the fuck up. Honestly, really should just not have huge opinions on it, and just let the people that if you're trans and you feel like he overstepped, then please speak up and I'll listen to what you got to say. And
100%.
Otherwise, I don't really understand. I don't really understand why the comedy man made everybody so mad. Why did that happen?
Chase, I am also a white man who's like 55% straight. So I'm not like maybe 60. I'm not the person he was talking about. So if a trans says that they feel this, then yes, that's, you should listen to how they feel. But to hear other white, straight, non-funny comedians say that, like, Dave Chappelle is canceled, I'll never book him on my open mic that I run in Southern Florida ever again.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle's ruined. There's a reason why every one of his specials is like the most watched thing on Netflix, by the way. Like, it's because he's great, and then because you guys do this every time. There's a month every discussion after, which, by the way, shows how great he is because his words, like, they clearly seem to matter.
They
like,
matter.
Look how far they go. Like, look how far. Like, that's how important he is to comedy. Is that like something that he's saying here is being dissected on so many levels. Like, people who don't watch comedy, don't cover comedy, are writing articles about it, or like dissecting like what being a comedian actually means and stuff like that. And that only happens for like the GOAT. That only happens for GOATs. Yeah, that. But yeah, I always, I mean, in a very like, I don't know, maybe I'm naive or maybe I'm ignorant or whatever, but like I always felt like whenever I watched, because I would say there's 3 specials where he really talks. So he had a group of 6 specials come out over the last couple of years. I would say 3 of them he talked about trans people. And usually each special was like updating, like, here's what happened after I talked about it on the last special. Here's what was said about me. Here's my response to it. He did it again on this one. I always felt like everything that he said, he knew exactly what he was saying. And he said it for a purpose. And then he also a lot of times would back it up with like, here's my explanation. Here's what I'm seeing it from. I felt like, I don't know why. I don't know why such a genius feels like he needed to take 3 specials to talk about the trans community. I don't know why he needed to or whatever. Like, he could have talked about anything. But I don't think, I don't know. I think he's a comedian, and he did funny stuff, and people should take it for that.
I'm a big opponent of freedom. So if it doesn't affect or harm another person, I don't care. Like, it doesn't. Freedom of speech is very important. People should be allowed to say whatever they feel in their heart. Like, it would be so boring and homogenized if every comedian talked about the same thing and the same. I don't even know how, like, it can't be such, the trans movement and trans people is such a big part of pop culture in the modern world and society today. There's no way that you could do a comedy special where you're talking about the world today and not mention it in whatever way. And whatever way you feel about it is how you feel about it. I don't agree with Dave Chappelle. I don't agree with what he said, but he's a comedian that said it, and he had valid points. But also, I'm a white straight guy, so it's not, I don't.
Yeah.
It's a
Because
slippery slope when you start deciding who can say what.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't agree with what he said, but I agree that he had the right to say it. I didn't agree with Shane Gillis making the jokes that he made a year ago, whatever, about Chinese people. Like he got, but he's a comedian. Sometimes comics don't think through what they say. It's not something I would ever say.
I mean, it wasn't a lecture. That's the other thing too. Dave Chappelle didn't go to UC Berkeley and start talking about why trans people shouldn't be able to further themselves or whatever. He sold tickets to a comedy show. He's never presented himself as anything other than a comedian. People went out and listened to what he had to say.
It didn't play on anybody's TV automatically.
Right.
You went and
I had to go find it on Netflix. I had the whole thing. What'd you think? He's always been a guy that walked the edge whenever he talks about stuff. And that's what people like about him. And people want stuff like that. So I don't know. Yes. I mean, I would have loved for him to have taken that time and turned it on something else. But that's what Dave chose to spend 3 specials talking about for some reason. And yeah, maybe his biggest fault is that he should have, shut the fuck up about it. But
yeah, I wish that he felt differently about the trans community. Again, I'm a white guy, so I don't understand his point. And nobody mentions the articles that shit on it and stuff. Never once mentioned that his point wasn't just anti-trans. It was comparing the progress that the trans movement has made against the Black Lives Matter and black people advancing in society. It feels stupid to even be talking about it because I'm just a middle-aged white guy.
And he also he did make it. He was, I think the thing that
you don't have to watch it.
The thing that sticks out the most from those specials where he's trying to make his point about that is that he says that line about why was Bruce Jenner able to become Caitlyn Jenner easier than for Cassius Clay to become Muhammad Ali. That was kind of his point, was what, and man, that says a lot. That really says a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's a whole lot for me to unpack that I don't go through. Okay, I could change my name right now and my gender all right now, and I just get a lot of support. A lot of people will be telling me how great and beautiful I am.
And I'll tell you, sometimes people should shut the fuck up. Sometimes you should understand it's okay to say, I don't have enough knowledge of this subject to even speak on it. So I'm just going to shut the fuck up about it. And that's how I feel. I support any person that wants to be a human being. If you want whatever pronoun you want me to use, I will call you. I believe that people are what they believe they are as far as genders. Live in happiness and peace. That's all I care about. But you can't. And hey, I hate to say it, I believe in peace, but it's just a slippery slope when you start telling people what they can and can't say. And the biggest thing is you didn't have to watch it. A lot of people are watching it because they read these comments that he made. These Dave Chappelle hates trans people, so they're like, I'm going to go watch it. Well, you're going in with that mindset already, so you've already made your mind up.
Also, man, you're just going to keep putting money in his pocket, and Netflix they're just going to give him another special. I know he says it's going to be his last one for a while, but they're going to throw more money at him because look at how much money it does. It's a big deal whenever he puts out a special.
We're still talking about it.
Yeah.
You know what? While we're on the subject, Bill Cosby and Louis C.K., if I'm being honest, it feels weird to defend.
Also, that is true because you know what? Why are you saying that? People are going at Dave as if what Louis and Bill did were horrific things they did in real life to people. We're complaining about what Dave Chappelle did in his comedy set. Yeah. What he does on stage, not who he is as a person. And of course, there's the story of the trust fund and everything he did for that person's family. They let open for him and the whole thing they talks about in the special. I know he's done things for people and everything, but yeah, we're making a big deal out of what somebody said in their comedy set, not what they did in their actual life. And we're blowing it up with the same lens as what we handle those type things. Yeah. So,
and I think my biggest issue is that a lot of comics are using this as a way to tell you who they are. Does that make sense? They're like,
Yeah.
I don't like this special because that's not what I think, blah, 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 blah. And like, if Dave Chappelle came to do your open mic and you're a real comedian in the actual world doing comedy, there's no way, no matter what you posted on Facebook, you're not going to tell Dave Chappelle, no, you can't go up because one of your jokes on your Netflix special bothered me. But that's the energy that they're putting out, and that's what people are saying. It's just the unfunniest people in the world are on Twitter or Facebook explaining why Dave Chappelle's not funny, and it's upsetting. But
big old
I don't
shrug.
know. We're two white guys. We're two white guys talking about.
I think to wrap this whole thing up, we said a bunch of stuff, but ultimately, shrug. That's kind of where we're at. Big old shrug. Don't really know.
Hey, I tell you what. Instead of watching Dave Chappelle's special, why don't you just watch an episode of Buckets of Duckets?
We got 64 of them out there.
We don't ever shit on trans people in our episode. We don't ever shit on trans people in any of our 64 episodes. Not one time.
When we shit on people, we shit on individual, specific people. I was screaming a man who lost his job, like his name a minute ago. I was putting his name out there. Like, that's who I was talking about. I wasn't talking about a group of people or generalizing.
I'm trying to fist fight a parent in a car line. I'm not worried. I'm not trying to attack trans rights.
Look, we're all love here, okay? Like,
look, hey,
clearly.
Buckets of Duckets, we ain't never want no trouble, all right?
Buckets of Duckets, try to hurt nobody. Unless you want trouble.
You want trouble.
If you want trouble.
Fuck around and find out. You want trouble, we got a fucking bucket load right back here. Chase, I want to show you this drawing before we get out of here. Zoe brought this picture home the other day.
Yep.
And she's getting really good at art.
Cute.
Okay, this is me. This is Dada, and I'm holding a ball. If you're listening, tough shit. Go on YouTube and watch this. This is Michelle, and she's holding a flower. This is Zoe holding a ball, and Henry. Now, this scary, spooky figure that's peeking in from the corner over here is a scientist.
Oh.
She said a scientist is studying us to see why we're such a good family.
Aww.
And I was like, that's really sweet. I don't believe you. I think that's a ghost. I think you're haunted by a demon, but that's really sweet that you would say that. Chase,
Josh,
when are you coming back down to Louisiana?
Thanksgiving.
We're doing another North Shore comedy show, and I would like to book you to headline it. And I'm asking you on this podcast because now you can't say no.
Ooh. I could probably do this, whatever that Saturday is after Thanksgiving. I think I'll be there.
We're going to figure it out, and if not, then you said you're coming home. So if you're listening to this and you want to come see me, I will be Lake Charles at the Crying Eagle Brewery November 19th. Tickets are on Eventbrite. I don't know how much they are, but that money goes directly into my pocket.
Attaboy. Yeah, I got some stuff in November coming up too. I'll plug it later. I accidentally accepted a gig at a show that somebody stole from Travis. I didn't know it was.
Oh no!
Travis did a show there one time. They didn't want to do it anymore, and then this other comic came through and convinced them to do a show again. And like reached out to Travis and was like wanting his help with it too, which the fucking nerve. And Travis had been bitching to me about it and the whole thing, and I was like, "Yeah, that motherfucker, I can't believe it." And then a couple months later, he hit me up, "Hey, you want to do this show?" And I was like, "Yeah." I didn't even think about the name of the venue or anything like that, and I was like, "Yeah." And I go tell Travis, I'm like, "Hey, Luke booked me for whatever the hell," and he's like, "Yeah, that's my old room." And then I stared at him for a while, hoping that he would say it's okay, and he eventually did.
Eventually,
but it was tense. I did, to be fair, I didn't remember. He thought that I performed. Travis thought that I performed on the show with him, but I did not, and I did not know the name of the venue or anything like that.
That's fair.
I didn't put it together. But
Michelle
I am betraying one of my good friends.
Yeah, but you're betraying Travis and not Josh, so it doesn't matter. I got it. Don't worry about it. It's out. Don't worry about it. Michelle and I have been talking about me getting a little freedom to come to Seattle and hang out and do some shows and spend some time up there. And Chase, I'm going to tell you two things I want to see. I'm going to steal that drawing of the creature from the Black Lagoon from Travis Nelson. I'm going to put it in right here again because it is literally the funniest picture I've ever seen in my life. I want to go to a dispensary because They're not real. In my mind, they don't exist.
It'll be the first thing we do.
In my mind, they don't exist. It's a prop. And then I want Travis to get me on shows that I couldn't get on if I didn't know people in Seattle that were professional comedians.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
I'm coming up there, and what's going to happen is I'm going to go to a dispensary and spend all my money and then just sleep on your apartment floor for 2 weeks. But whatever.
I know. I can't wait. I can't wait. All right.
Do these